The Geostationary Operational Environmental Satellite System, operated by the United States' National Environmental Satellite, Data, and Information Service, supports weather forecasting, severe storm tracking, and meteorology research. Spacecraft and ground-based elements of the system work together to provide a continuous stream of environmental data. The National Weather Service uses the GOES system for its United States weather monitoring and forecasting operations, and scientific researchers use the data to better understand land, atmosphere, ocean, and climate interactions. The GOES system uses geosynchronous satellites which, since the launch of SMS-1 in 1974, have been a basic element of U.S. weather monitoring and forecasting. GOES data can be accessed using the SPEDAS software. Satellites. 3 GOES satellites are currently available for operational use. GOES-13 is designated GOES East, currently located at 75 degrees west. It was placed in orbit on the 24th of May 2006, underwent post-launch testing through early 2007, then replaced GOES-12 as GOES East. GOES-14 is currently in storage at 90 degrees west. It was temporarily designated GOES East due to technical difficulties with GOES-13, and moved toward the GOES East location. But after resolution of the GOES-13 anomaly, GOES-14 returned to storage. It was launched on the 27th of June 2009, underwent post-launch testing until December 2009, and then was placed in on-orbit storage at 105 degrees west. GOES-15 was launched on the 4th of March 2010 and is designated GOES West, currently located at 135 degrees west over the Pacific Ocean. Several GOES satellites are still in orbit, either inactive or repurposed. GOES-3 is no longer used for weather operations, but is a critical part of the communication links between the United States and Amundsen Scott South Pole Station. Geostationary satellites cannot ordinarily be seen at all from the poles, but they require station-keeping fuel to keep them stationary over the equator. When station-keeping fuel is depleted, solar and lunar perturbations increase the satellite's inclination so that its ground track begins to describe an anemometer. This usually ends the satellite's primary mission, but when the inclination is high enough, the satellite may begin to rise above the polar horizons at the extremes of the figure 8, as is the case for GOES-3. A 9-meter dish was constructed at the station, and communication with the satellite is currently possible for about 5 hours per day. Data rates are around 2.048 Mbit per second bidirectional under optimum conditions. GOES-8 is in a parking orbit, currently drifting about 4 degrees west daily. It was decommissioned on April 1, 2003, and deactivated on May 5, 2004, after the failure of its propulsion system. Weather data was lost for 13 days from GOES-12 on December 4, 2007, when it performed a standard station-keeping maneuver. GOES-11 initially took full-disk images to cover the lost data until a contingency plan could be implemented. On December 5, 2007, GOES-10 was moved from South America operations to temporarily replace GOES-12 as the GOES East operational satellite. On the 9th of December, communication with GOES-10 was also temporarily lost, but communication was resumed via a backup antenna. GOES-12 was successfully reactivated and moved back to normal operation following a thrust maneuver on the 17th of December. The trouble was traced to a leaking thruster valve, which pushed the satellite incorrectly. Emergency procedures were executed to cut off the valve, and a redundant thruster was activated to restore the location of the satellite. GOES-10 was decommissioned on December 2, 2009 and was boosted adjusted to a graveyard orbit. It no longer had the fuel for required maneuvers to keep it on station. It joins GOES 8 and 9, which are already in graveyard orbits. With the cessation of GOES 10's duties, GOES 13 has replaced GOES 12 as GOES East. GOES 12 was then moved to 60 degrees west and resumed South American duties for GOES 10. GOES 11 had a partial failure the 6th of December 2011, was decommissioned on the 16th of December 2011 and was boosted into a graveyard orbit. GOES 15 was moved to 135 degrees west as GOES West. GOES 13 was previously out of service from the 22nd of May to the 9th of June 2013 due to technical difficulties following a micrometeoroid collision. It is designated GOES East and is currently located at 75 degrees west. It provides most of the U.S. weather information. Purpose: designed to operate in geostationary orbit 35,790 kilometers above the Earth. The advanced GOES-IM spacecraft continuously view the continental United States, the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans, Central, South America and Southern Canada. The three-axis, body-stabilized spacecraft design enables the senses to stare at the Earth and thus more frequently image clouds, monitor Earth's surface temperature and water vapor fields, and sound the atmosphere for its vertical thermal and vapor structures. Thus, the evolution of atmospheric phenomena can be followed, ensuring real-time coverage of meteorological events such as severe local storms and tropical cyclones that directly affect public safety, protection of property, and ultimately economic health and development. The importance of this capability has been exemplified during Hurricanes Hugo and Andrew. The GOES-IM series of spacecraft are the principal observational platforms for covering such dynamic weather events and the near-Earth space environment for the 1990s and into the 21st century. These advanced spacecraft enhance the capability of the GOES system to continuously observe and measure meteorological phenomena in real time, providing the meteorological community and atmospheric scientists greatly improved observational and measurement data of the Western Hemisphere. In addition to short-term weather forecasting and space environmental monitoring, these enhanced operational services also improve support for atmospheric science research, numerical weather prediction models, and environmental sensor design and development. Data is received via the NOAA Command and Data Acquisition Ground Station at Wallops Island, Virginia. The GOES satellites are controlled from the Satellite Operations Control Center located in Suitland, Maryland. During significant weather or other events, the normal schedules can be altered to provide coverage requested by the National Weather Service and other agencies. GOES spacecraft also provide a platform for the Solar X-ray Imager and Space Environment Monitoring instruments. The SEM measures in situ the effect of the Sun on the near-Earth solar terrestrial electromagnetic environment, providing real-time data to the Space Environment Services Center, the SESC, as the nation's Space Weather Service receives, monitors, and interprets a wide variety of solar terrestrial data, and issues reports, alerts and forecasts for special events such as solar flares or geomagnetic storms. This information is important to the operation of military and civilian radio wave and satellite communication and navigation systems, as well as electric power networks, and to the mission of geophysical explorers, shuttle and space station astronauts, high-altitude aviators, and scientific researchers. The SXI provides high-cadence monitoring of large-scale solar structures to support SESC's monitoring mission. However, the SXI unit on GOES-12 has been rendered inoperable from malfunctions, and the unit on GOES-13 was damaged by a solar flare in 2006. Payload. The main mission is carried out by the primary payload instruments, the imager and the sounder. The imager is a multi-channel instrument that senses infrared radiant energy and visible reflected solar energy from the Earth's surface and atmosphere. The sounder provides data for vertical atmospheric temperature and moisture profiles, surface and cloud top temperature, and ozone distribution. Other instruments on board the spacecraft are the ground-based meteorological platform data collection and relay, and the Space Environment Monitor. The latter consists of a magnetometer, an X-ray sensor, a high-energy proton and alpha detector, and an energetic particles sensor, all used for in-situ surveying of the near-Earth space environment. Satellites numbered 12 and greater also carry a solar X-ray imager used for two-dimensional imaging of the Sun. The GOES-13 to 15 series also have a sun-pointed extreme ultraviolet sensor. In addition, the GOES satellites carry a search and rescue repeater that collect data from emergency position indicating radio beacon and emergency locator transmitter beacons, which are used for search and rescue purposes by the U.S. Air Force Rescue Coordination Center. Satellite designations. Before being launched, GOES satellites are designated by letters. Once a GOES satellite is launched successfully, it is redesignated with a number. So, GOES-A to GOES-F became GOES-1 to GOES-6. Because GOES-G was a launch failure, it never received a number. Since then, GOES-H to GOES-P became GOES-7 to GOES-15. The procurement, design and manufacturing of GOES is overseen by NASA, while all operations of the satellites once in orbit are done by NOAA. GOES spacecraft have been manufactured by Boeing and Space Systems, Loral. The two current GOES series are documented in the GOES-IM data book and GOES-N series data book. The future GOES series is being built by Lockheed Martin. GOES-13 was launched by Delta-IV rocket from Space Launch Complex 37B at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station in Florida at 22:11 GMT May 24, 2006. The launch of GOES-O was delayed several times due to various issues. GOES-O was launched Saturday, June 27, 2009 at 6:51 p.m. EDT from Florida's Cape Canaveral Air Force Station at Space Launch Complex 37, piggybacking on a Delta-IV rocket. The GOES-O satellite is a part of the GOES-N series, and was renamed as GOES-14 once it successfully arrived on orbit. GOES-14 is in on-orbit storage, and will be able to be activated for duty if another GOES satellite is decommissioned. GOES-P launched successfully on March 4, 2010 at 18:57 EST. Boeing would have built and launched a GOES-Q only if either GOES-O or GOES-P failed to be delivered on orbit in good working order. In October 2006, NOAA repositioned GOES-10 over the Amazon region to provide full-time coverage for South American countries. Although NOAA currently sends images to South America, the frequency drops from 30 minutes to 3 hours whenever a storm occurs in North America, which is roughly 40% of the time during the hurricane season. In 2010, NOAA assigned GOES-12 to observing South America, although it has expended its fuel and several science systems have failed. Future. The GOES-R series of spacecraft is in the development phase. The first GOES-R series satellite is scheduled for launch in November 2016 and is expected to remain operational through December 2036. The proposed instrument package for the series initially included the Advanced Baseline Imager, the Hyperspectral Environmental Suite, the Space Environment In Situ Suite, which includes 2 magnetospheric particle sensors, an energetic heavy ion sensor, and a solar and galactic proton sensor, the Solar Imaging Suite, which includes the Solar Ultraviolet Imager, the Solar X-ray sensor, and the Extreme Ultraviolet sensor, the Geostationary Lightning Mapper, and the magnetometer. In September 2006, the Hyperspectral Environmental Suite was cancelled and the planned number of satellites was reduced from 4 to 2 by NOAA due to concerns about cost overruns. The planned delivery schedule was also slowed down in order to reduce costs. The expected cost is $7.69 billion, a $670 million increase from the prior $7 billion estimate. The contract for constructing the satellites themselves, as well as the magnetometer system (SUVI and GLM), was awarded to Lockheed Martin. The award was challenged by Boeing, who lost the bid. However, the protest was subsequently dismissed. The ABI will be delivered by ITT Exelise. The SEISS will be delivered by Assurance Technology Corporation. XRS and EUVS will be combined into the extreme ultraviolet and X-ray irradiance sensors, which will be delivered by the Laboratory for Atmospheric and Space Physics of the University of Colorado. The contract for the ground system was awarded to a team led by the Weather Systems Division of Harris Corporation, including subcontracts to Boeing, Atmospheric and Environmental Research, Honeywell, Carr Astronautics, Weil Laboratories, and Ares. History and status of GOES satellites. GOES 1, launched on October 16, 1975, decommissioned. GOES 2, launched on June 16, 1977, decommissioned. GOES 3, launched on June 16, 1978, used as a communications relay for the South Pole Research Station. GOES 4, launched on September 9, 1980, decommissioned. GOES 5, launched on May 22, 1981, deactivated on July 18, 1990. GOES 6, launched on April 28, 1983, decommissioned. GOES G, launched on May 3, 1986, failed to orbit. GOES 7, launched on February 26, 1987, used as a communications satellite by PisaSat. GOES 8, launched on April 13, 1994, decommissioned. GOES 9, launched on May 23, 1995, decommissioned on June 15, 2007. GOES 10, launched on April 25, 1997, decommissioned on December 2, 2009. GOES 11, launched on May 3, 2000, decommissioned on December 16, 2011. GOES 12, launched on July 23, 2001, was providing coverage for South America until it was decommissioned on August 16, 2013. GOES 13, launched on May 24, 2006, in operation as GOES East, returned to operations the 18th of October 2012 after an anomaly. GOES 14, launched on June 27, 2009, standby spacecraft, located at 90 degrees W as of December 2012. GOES 15, launched on March 4, 2010, in operation as GOES West starting December 14, 2011. GOES R, scheduled for launch in 2016. GOES S, scheduled for launch in 2017. GOES T, scheduled for launch in 2019.